It is now almost 40 years since the end of the Vietnam War and the return home of our last veterans. More than 60,000 Australians served in Vietnam. 521 did not return. On their return home from an unpopular war, many veterans felt that their service was not recognised or appreciated by an apathetic society. In addition, many suffered from the effects of their service in Vietnam. Some carried psychological scars, now known as post-traumatic stress disorder. Others carried physical reminders from wounds, illness, or from the effects of exposure to Agent Orange, a defoliant used extensively in Vietnam. Almost 20 years ago, some veterans decided to do their bit to help in the rehabilitation of the veterans affected by their experiences. A mobile museum was towed across the country, showing veterans and the public alike about the service in Vietnam. Veterans made donations of personal objects and memorabilia to the trailer display. The display moved to a single-room museum. When those premises were sold, options were examined, and a decision made to own and build their own premises on Phillip Island. It was housed in a Bellman aircraft hangar. Construction was over 4 years, with constant fundraising. The museum was opened to visitors in December 2006 and officially opened in March 2007. Since 2007, the museum has continued to evolve. Managed and operated almost entirely by volunteers, the museum has continued to slowly improve its facility and the collection within it. Vehicles, a tank, artillery and aircraft began to form focal points for the museum collection. A magnificent hologram presentation was developed to educate visitors upon arrival about the Vietnam War and Australia's place in it. A remembrance garden was added to the museum grounds to reinforce it being the spiritual home of all Vietnam veterans and to provide a place of reflection and memories. The focal point is the replica of the famous Long Tan Cross. And an ambitious aircraft restoration program was begun, with a new workshop added to the museum which doubled the original undercover area. Today, visitors include not just veterans, but a growing number of school children and families. For many veterans, the museum is accepted as a spiritual home. Veteran visitors find the museum to be a powerful evocation of their experience in Vietnam. New visitors learn about a conflict and the veterans' experience of it, of which they previously knew little. A museum, by definition, is an educational resource, and it's important to Australia that this legacy has a sustainable future. The museum seeks to remember, interpret and understand the experience of the veterans of the Vietnam War and the enduring impact of the war on society. Sponsors and donors of all kinds remain as vital as ever to the future success of the museum. As a not-for-profit organisation, and without any ongoing government funding, the museum remains heavily dependent on the generosity of individuals, organisations and groups willing to donate in cash and kind to help sustain and build the museum into the future. All donations are tax-deductible.